Hi everyone, and welcome to another FSElite interview. And today I am joined by Tim from Thrustmaster. How are you doing, Tim?
Hey, Callum, I'm real good.
Excellent.
Everything's
So
everything's great over here.
perfect. So we're recording this before your show, but we'll be dropping this interview after you reveal some new products and you're on stage talking about your product line. So let's
Mhm.
just jump straight in the interview and just take a little step back to the TCA Airbus series that you released about a year ago. If I'm being honest, it was really met with a lot of positive reception from both the community and also the number of developers who are integrating it into a lot of their products. So, what was it like for you guys to see that sort of response for you and the team?
It was incredible. I mean, you, Callum, you know that we as Thrustmaster have primarily made essentially just gaming sticks and combat focused sticks in the past. So this really was our first foray directly into civilian flight sim hardware. So there were, of course, some nerves that we wanted to make sure that we were doing it right beforehand. There were nerves that we were doing so with an official license, a major license that we knew that the community would be super stoked about. So we were ecstatic that it went as well as it did and that it was received as well as it did. It's a huge relief to our R&D team who worked on this product line for years, and of course that we were able to show such a major license like Airbus the respect that they deserve by launching this product to the reception that it received.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously tried it out ourselves. We had a really good time with it. And I think that has also come through in the fact that it's been very, very difficult to be able to pick up the actual hardware itself.
It has,
Um,
yeah.
and would you say, so it kind of came out around a time where Microsoft Flight Simulator really started to take off. Lots and lots of people were invested and interested in flight simulation. Do you think, that's driven a lot of this, the hardware stuff that you're bringing out at the moment?
Yeah, no question about it. We have a very very good working relationship, licensor relationship with Microsoft. We for those of you who know, we are a French-based company or a corporation based in France, and Asobo, of course, is based in France, so they have a close working relationship as well. So we had a very nice long lead time or head start on that partnership. So we sort of were able to really get ahead of it and make sure that if we were going to launch civil flight sim hardware at the same time as this game came out, that we were going to do it right. And between what we revealed last year in the Airbus line and what we've just revealed this year at FlightSimExpo, we're very confident that we're giving the community what they want, and we're extremely happy to be to essentially be in a position where we were already the leaders of a community which is now growing exponentially year over year over year over year. And yeah, we couldn't be happier with the way that it's going. Obviously, except for a few sort of bumps in the road in terms of COVID supply and demand issues. But in terms of, like you said, the reception, the actual quality of the products, and the timing of everything being released while the community is in such turbulence and such positive turbulence, but in such a stage of growth is incredible to us.
Yeah, and I think we've seen a lot of that. People are always asking, especially we get emails all the time, oh, where can we buy the Thrustmaster TCA, especially like the throttle quadrants and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to see not only the stick side of things, but also that more advanced control setup as well.
For sure. And as you saw today, we sort of we have revealed we have products that are in this sort of more affordable or sort of a little bit more gamey type joystick category, but then we're also making this high-end replica stuff, this fully metal replica type hardware or replica quality hardware on both the combat and now on the civilian side. So we're very fortunate to have the experience to be able to do both, and to be able to do both well, and to be able to do both at the level where we earn the trust of these massive licenses and these massive game developers, and are able to really put something together that the community really gets behind as well.
Awesome. I mean, you've mentioned now a couple of times of the thing that was announced at the show earlier today. Well,
Yeah.
not today, but when people are watching this,
Today we're pretending it's today. It's fine.
yeah.
Yeah. Playing
Um,
along.
So, for anyone who did miss what the big announcement was, would you care to elaborate and tell the community who are watching exactly what you've shown off and why you guys at Thrustmaster are super excited about what you did announce?
Cool. Yeah. So for those of you who were watching, we just revealed our very first yoke. So that alone is exciting. And then in combination with what you just mentioned, which is that we have the Airbus license, we've now just announced our our second major civilian license. We essentially now have the two massive civilian airliner licenses. So this is a Boeing licensed yoke. It is a replica of what you'll find inside a real Boeing Dreamliner. We're being quite guarded on what we're saying right now about it. We want to make sure that we give the community enough time to sort of absorb the information as it's coming out. But what we have revealed, what we just revealed in our presentation, and what we're showing off in our booth and telling people who do come by to check it out, this is a 100% metal internal structure in our yoke. It is a replica grade, including down to the way that it operates on a motion. Excuse me, a motion scale. It's a pendular motion as opposed to sort of an in and out motion. So it is an exact replica of how a Boeing Dreamliner yoke works, and we're super excited to be able to see the reaction of the people at FlightSimExpo as they get this in their hands for the first time, because this will be literally the very first time that the community has had a chance to see this, and that the community has had a chance to feel this and see how it works and how it works differently than any other yoke on the market.
So, outside of the motion of the yoke itself, there's obviously a few other features on the device. What can you tell us about what else is on the yoke product?
We're not saying a whole lot right now, including going in deep in terms of all the different features. We are really just emphasizing that this is, other than of course a few gaming features that we had to add to make it compatible with games, this is a replica of a yoke and quadrant, the same style that you'll see inside a real Dreamliner. So you'll see all of those classic features, the buttons and knobs function as well as look the same way that they do inside a real Boeing cockpit. And yeah, the rest is for the community to observe themselves in our booth this weekend.
Perfect. So, out of interest, how much collaboration and did you work with Boeing to be able to produce this?
Absolutely, yeah. So we worked very closely with Boeing. Our R&D team has had a relationship with Boeing in the past. For both for other products and for aspirational products. So we had already a good working relationship with them from a licensing point of view, but we've also worked with them very closely on sort of just making sure it's perfect, making sure that the buttons work the same way that they do on a real Boeing yoke, on a real Boeing quadrant, buttons and switches and motion axes and everything else. So we were very fortunate that a company as large as Boeing saw the value in what we wanted to do and what we wanted to provide to the virtual community of pilots that we all are.
Absolutely, awesome. And in terms of compatibility, then, are you looking at what sort of simulators will be compatible with the yoke and devices and stuff?
We are still a ways away from launch, from announcing more. Of course, it's not available for pre-orders. It's not going to be those people who do go to the show will see that we don't have it plugged in. We don't have it working yet. There's going to be a whole lot more information to come on compatibility and everything else. But of course, we know that the community wants this to be plug and play with all of the major civilian flight sim games. So we are very hopeful and it's very likely that this will be plug and play compatible with MSFS and X-Plane.
Really exciting stuff. Can't wait to learn a little bit more about what you've got to come in store. Now, I think one of the questions we're probably going to be getting in chat, or people will be asking, especially at the show, is, and you've also touched on it yourself, is the manufacturing issues that we've seen, not just from flight sim hardware, but graphics cards, cars itself. This whole global pandemic has really thrown a spanner in the works. What are you guys at the moment doing to maybe address those? And do you think production issues are kind of settling down as we head into the future?
They are. We to give you a fairly vague marketing style answer, but that is accurate. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel in terms of these manufacturing issues and logistics issues that have plagued not just us, not just gaming hardware, but essentially all electronics manufacturers globally. There are obviously major runs on certain parts that products take. Logistics, of course, has gotten backed up. We're in a situation where the perfect storm of a major product release, a major game release, a major uptick in in-home entertainment sources, and COVID, of course, and all of the downsides, all of the effects that COVID has had on manufacturing and logistics and everything else, all kind of came together as a perfect storm in 2020. That's not a surprise to anyone. But we now are very optimistic that we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And of course, because manufacturing and production timelines are so long, we expect that the community will be able to start seeing some of that relief on the supply-demand imbalance quite soon, hopefully by the end of 2021, in time for the Christmas season.
Amazing.
And we are aware, based on the very strong demand for the Airbus SKUs when they hit in 2020. We used what we saw from the release of those products to anticipate a much stronger release, or sorry, a much stronger demand of the Boeing products once we launch those. So we feel like we've gotten far enough ahead of it that it's not going to be quite as unfortunate as that launch was for us, and launches at that time were for so many different gaming and hardware and electronics manufacturers.
Hopefully that reassures people who are watching.
Yeah, I know it's to some degree not a real answer, but it is an answer in terms of we can all see it all around us. COVID is slowly, we're either adapting to it or the situation is getting better, and manufacturing logistics is all seeing some relief from that sort of end of COVID.
Yeah. So another impact that COVID has had is obviously shows such as FlightSimExpo have had a bit of an impact, like myself not being able to travel out, and probably other people as well, and obviously developers having booths and stuff at the show. But you guys are still going to be at the show. In fact, you have the largest booth FlightSimExpo has ever seen. I can't remember how big Evan told me it was, but it's huge.
20 by 40 to speak American to you. 20 foot by 40 foot, yeah.
So a huge presence at the show. So as a developer, as a hardware manufacturer, why is it so important for you guys to be present at that show and showcasing off products like this?
Well, we knew far in advance. We've used FlightSimExpo in the past to reveal products. We used FlightSimExpo 2019 to reveal the TPR pendular rudders. We were planning on using FlightSimExpo 2020 to reveal the Airbus line of products, and we now will be using FlightSimExpo to reveal this Boeing yoke. We know that this is all eyes of the community are on one place at one time. So just from a marketing point of view, that's a fantastic thing. But the ability for us as a team, as the development team, and for the marketing team, the voice of the brand team, for us to be able to engage with the community, with the media such as yourselves, with our partners, our software partners, and some hardware partners at shows like this is invaluable information for us. We ask as many questions to the fans as the fans ask us when they come into our booths. We love doing shows for that reason. We're super excited that this is the first show that we're going to be able to attend in 18 months. But yeah, in general, FlightSimExpo is a extremely well organized show. It's an extremely valuable tool for us to be able to get our message out into the community very quickly and very organically and authentically, and it gives us a great chance to engage with the fans and the community that we serve. So for all of those reasons, and just in general, the support of the community that we want to be able to show, and the support of an event that's so well organized as the one that Phil and Evan do, is essential to us. So we chose to just go big this year. We're going to show off everything that we've done in the past and what we plan on doing in the future. And there's no better place to do it than FlightSimExpo.
Amazing. I think we're going to leave it there. I mean, that is the perfect way to kind of end this. So, Tim, thank you so much for your time. I wish you
Thank
all
you,
of the
Cal.
luck at the show. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope the fans enjoy it too. Hopefully next year, people will be able to travel and come to the show. So hopefully next year we get to catch up. But yeah, thank you so much for taking the time. Enjoy the show, and we'll speak to you again soon.
Thanks as well. See you guys.
Cheers.